Kim Jong-un has made no shortage of enemies, both domestic and foreign, but if they'd like to get a shot at the notorious dictator, they'll have their work cut out for them. Because the protection of that North Korean leader is simply insane. World leaders being protected, well, is nothing new. The United States president has an entire agency, the Secret Service, tasked with protecting him. Their homes tend to be well fortified as well, for a good reason. A mentally disturbed attacker managed to break into the Canadian Prime Minister's house in 1995. But even by those standards, Kim Jong-un is particularly vigilant. And it's nothing new. The North Korean leaders are protected by a team resembling an elite military squad, more than bodyguards. That's because it's not just about protection, it's about a show of force. It became very clear in 2018 when Kim Jong-un attempted a diplomatic summit in Singapore. He was meeting the then US President Donald Trump as the two tried to hash out tricky issues. But as the North Korean leader approached the site, onlookers noticed something bizarre. His presidential car was flanked by a team of sharp-dressed bodyguards, all of them fit-looking young men wearing black formal suits, and they were running alongside the car, keeping pace. These strange runners are a part of a much bigger organization. The simple-sounding name, Central Party Office No. 6, is a cover for an elite team of bodyguards, and it's not easy to get in. You've got to pass a lot of tests to even be considered, starting with one you can't cheat on: height. The team has to be roughly the same height as the North Korean leader, possibly to give the right vantage point to protect him, or possibly because Kim Jong-un doesn't want to be surrounded by taller people. No one who is overweight or has facial scars that make them stand out are considered, and 4 eyes need not apply. Anyone with a visual impairment is disqualified immediately. And that's before we get into the skills you'll need. Before being put on the high-risk duty of protecting the North Korean leader, the candidates will be tested in skills including marksmanship and martial arts. They need to be able to protect Kim at both close range and long range, which is similar to the test Secret Service agents undergo before being placed on presidential duty. They're also put through an intense background check where the last 2 generations of their family are scrutinized to make sure they have no conflicts of interest or other potential weak points that a blackmailer could exploit. Weak points might include information about their online behavior, perhaps? Keeping your data secure is one of the most important things you can do online, even if you don't want to get into the job of protecting world leaders. And that's why we're happy to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. Get a free month by going to nordvpn.com/infographics. We know there are a lot of choices when it comes to VPN services, but NordVPN is the only one actually used by the team here at the Infographics Show, and it's the easiest to use VPN I've tried. You can connect with just one click, or save your strength in your index finger and turn on Auto Connect to be protected automatically. With thousands of servers across the world, it's almost guaranteed that one will be close to you for the fastest VPN speeds possible. And all of those servers means you can access content from anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're traveling abroad for a job interview with a foreign leader or merely traveling for fun, you'll still be able to access all your favorite streaming services as if you were at home, so you never miss a new episode. But NordVPN, despite the name, is much more than just a VPN. It's an entire ecosystem of cybersecurity tools. It has threat protection that identifies malware before it can infect your machine. Also, with NordPass and NordLocker, you can be sure your passwords and cloud data are safer and more secure than ever. So what are you waiting for? The monthly cost is the same as a cup of coffee, so there's never been a better time to try out NordVPN, especially since it turned 10 years old. And to celebrate, they're giving a special gift to you. That's right, just go to nordvpn.com/infographics to get an entire month free, plus a special birthday gift of an extra 1 month, 1 year, or even 2 years of subscription time on top. That's nordvpn.com/infographics. But back to Kim Jong-un and his strenuous requirements for security. This is considered one of the most prestigious positions in North Korea. After all, you're getting to be near the current leader of the Kim dynasty all day. Who wouldn't want that? Don't answer that if you're in North Korea. And most likely to be chosen, of course, are already insiders. Distant relatives of the Kim family are often chosen as long as they're in the favor of the regime, as are those from elite North Korean families or those whose parents are trusted advisors of the Kim family. But there is one key difference between this and the Secret Service. Saying no to this high-risk, high-profile position is not an option. That's because members of the North Korean military go where they're told and don't have the luxury of refusing orders. That's the same in most militaries. But North Korea has one of the widest-reaching conscription laws in the world. Anyone is eligible to be pulled into active duty at any time. Men in North Korea are conscripted across the board, with them being inducted into the military at 14 and beginning their training at 17 for 3 years. So just about every man in North Korea has some combat training, and a surprising number of women do as well. While not all women are drafted, the regime maintains the right to conscript any they think has promise, and that gives North Korea one of the most outsized militaries in the world. North Korea has a population of only 25.5 million, the 55th largest in the world, but its military is the 4th largest in the world by active military personnel. Most of them stay at home, with elite units traveling with Kim around the world to protect him. By conscripting every North Korean male at an early age, the regime can study the skills for years and pinpoint where they'll best serve the Kim family. While most never get close to the presidential limo, you can bet that any who does has been thoroughly vetted. But the security that people see abroad is nothing compared to what awaits back home. Most people who see the North Korean security teams assume that he has his own secret service, but the reality is much crazier than that. A whole unit of the North Korean military is devoted to protecting Kim Jong-un. The elite team running along the car is a tiny offshoot of this unit, chosen for their appearance and the image they project. But the actual North Korean security system is one of the most complex military teams in the world, with a shocking staff of over 100,000 members, and they all have their eyes on protecting one man. The official name of the unit is Supreme Guard Command, and everything about it is to the specifications of the Kim family. Currently overseen by General Young Jon-rin, it has a designation number of 99, a number formation considered lucky in North Korea. And it's hard not to feel lucky when you're protected by a team like this. Its history dates back to before the Korean War, shortly after the Kim dynasty was founded. Originally, Kim Il-sung was protected by a division of the State Security Department, and that continued until the 1990s, but there was one problem. They kept trying to stage coups. Needless to say, this wouldn't do, and the second Kim leader, Kim Jong-il, quickly reorganized the guard. He cut off dozens of officers and replaced them with loyalists, giving himself a massive private bodyguard unit over 200 men. Today, it's technically part of the Korean People's Army ground force and has around 6 divisions, 3 for combat and 1 for construction. As for the bodyguard divisions, the regime isn't sharing too many details on that, but it's believed the whole team has at least 95,000 members and probably more. And every time there's a new leader, the structure changes. Kim Il-sung had his own dedicated unit, and his son, Kim Jong-il, added his own. Did Kim Jong-un create his own private division or inherit his father's? It's not clear, but it's not hard to see why he would. Loyalists to the previous leader, who had served him for decades, might not agree with everything the new kid on the block is doing. They might even think that they could do a better job. So the notoriously paranoid Kim family is likely to keep replacing the staff as needed and retiring the previous guys, just so they don't feel the need to keep watching their back. And speaking of watching your back, they're probably watching yours right now. The Supreme Guard Command is based in Pyongyang near Kim Jong-un's headquarters, but they're probably never far away from anyone in North Korea. They have camps around the country to keep an eye on all major military and party figures, and this way they combine the function of the Secret Service with groups like the FBI that keep an eye out for chatter that could endanger the president. Of course, in North Korea, the kind of chatter that could get someone a visit from the command is probably a lot less threatening, and in the event of a crisis, they're prepared. The Supreme Guard Command has close ties with other military groups within the country and has access to another 100,000 soldiers in case of a serious attack on the capital or Kim Jong-un's location. If they're called into action, they'll be ready to move the leader in a hurry to deploy armored vehicles to defend the location. The people high up in command have access to classified info needed to secure the current leader, including hidden bunkers that can protect him from any attack from the air. And other units have more specific purposes. Having 100,000 people to protect one man would be overkill, even for the Kim family, so they're put to work in unique ways. Teams are sent to protect not just the Kim Palace, but shrines dedicated to the departed leaders. They man checkpoints controlling access to zones in the capital city. They provide protection to other North Korean elites when needed, and supply medical care that far exceeds the kind offered in the country's hospitals. And because all work and no play makes Kim a dull boy, they handle much of the country's smuggling operations, helping Kim Jong-un get his hands on luxury goods that he's banned from importing due to international sanctions. Other units are there in the event of a crisis. The team has a communications unit that monitors telephone and internet communications and wires Kim's orders to the military when needed. This unit is heavily involved in spycraft, but in the event of an invasion would likely be the ones relaying Kim's orders for how to proceed. That means they'd be the ones giving the orders to fire the nukes. And then there's the Rapid Response Force, a heavily militarized unit of trained soldiers, armored cars, and heavy weapons that has one goal: put down a coup and keep Kim safe by any means necessary. If they storm into a place, the odds are good a heavy shootout is coming. And there are more layers all the way down. This massive security force has smaller and smaller units until you get to the small, secretive unit known as Office Number 6. They're tasked with protecting Kim Jong-un and his inner circle. They reportedly have about 1,200 members, about the size of a single battalion. They report directly to Kim Jong-un's personal secretariat, and coordinate all his public appearances. It's not easy to get close to North Korea's supreme leader, which means that anyone who makes it into the group has the inner circle's trust, and getting that trust takes a lot of sacrifices. After the candidates are screened for appearance, physical capabilities, and loyalty to the party, their backgrounds are checked for songbun. This is the unofficial class structure in North Korea. Your ranking is based on your ancestors' and relatives' conduct in the country and determines every area of your life in North Korea. This ranges from job opportunities to even food rations. And you'd better believe that only those with the highest ranking in the system are considered to get into the inner circle of the security system. And what comes next is even more shocking when you consider that this starts with teenagers. Those chosen as candidates for the security forces say goodbye to their names and past identity. They're given an ID number and head to a special training camp. They're put through an intensive 6-month program and go through 2 years of total training. Not only are they trained in combat, but they have to do regular 25K marches in full gear to make sure they have the endurance for the task. It might sound like a particularly brutal summer camp, but don't expect to keep the tradition of sending letters home. Contact with family members is completely forbidden, and only one member of each family is allowed to serve in the elite unit. This is because once you join Kim Jong-un's elite bodyguard team, he wants you to have exactly one priority: keeping him safe. No connections will be tolerated. Your family was the past, and your role in the security forces is the future. But hey, at least you'll look super awesome running alongside his car. Just don't lag behind. Sometimes the security in North Korea keeps people in rather than out. So check out why it's almost impossible to escape from North Korea, or watch regular things that are illegal in North Korea for what anyone who wants a high ranking there should avoid.